welcome back to what will definitely be the last stream of Pyre. Me saying definitely means somehow something crazy is going to happen and the game's going to take much longer and I'll be proven wrong somehow. But I want to be done with this game. This game is wonderful. I very much enjoyed it. I haven't done any voicing for characters in games before this, and it's honestly been pretty liberating to stop being embarrassed about something so silly. This game's been a lot of fun. It's very interesting. It's very inspiring. But my goodness, is it overstaying its welcome. So, let's go ahead and just kill it today. Let's just absolutely finish things out with a bang. I believe we just got rid of Wolfried. Let's see, who do we got? You prevailed in the liberation against the Descendants. Already does the Black Wagon feel quieter than usual without Wolfried, who returned to the Commonwealth. You overhear some of your companions reflecting on this. Tizo makes a noise. We shall make do without him here. You wonder who, if any, among you shall be the next to go. Your plan is well in motion. With Wolfried back in your country to lead the effort, I have confidence that you all shall prevail in this collective goal. Perhaps what has become of your Commonwealth is no longer in your hands, though you may still determine who remains here in the downside and who instead returns. Again, the stars are offering no chance at rest and urge you to press on. Please see where they would have you go, and I shall begin our preparations for departure. You turn your attention to the glimmering stars. Their current rate of disappearances suggest another liberation rite shall be coming very soon. This one is going to be very rough. We have a pretty lackluster team right now. It's looking like Bertrude, Tizo, Fae is going to be our mainstay for who we want to win. The Pyre Hearts would be lovely right now. They're alright. I have no interest in Tamitha at this point, so it's between the Fate or the Pyre Hearts. Let's trounce the Pyre Hearts. I like the Pyre Hearts. I'm ready to give them a thwacking. Alright. Now the stars bid you return to the Hulk of Ores, where you shall stand against the Pyre Hearts once again. Your adversary, Sir Deluge, likely knows the cycle of the rites is drawing to a close. His last remaining chance to earn the favor of the Scribes and then regain his freedom likely hinges on the outcome of this next rite. The cycle of the rites is soon to end, the exiles of the downside striving to be free. Your adversaries, your companions, even yourself are running out of time. That's okay. So, now I guess the question is, who is gone? Who's winning? Okay, so we got Jodi and Fae, the lesbians. They are deeply in love with each other. I kinda would hate to break them up now. Jodi has, like, signed herself off to death. She does not care. She does not want to be free to some degree. Fae is a wild card who basically stands no chance in the Commonwealth, even if the Commonwealth is up, like, totally destroyed. Who is her only bit of family? Well, it's Jodi, and it's that other boy from the Fate. Tizo's a weirdo. Tizo could be anywhere. And then Bertrude. The idea that Bertrude would stay and hang out with these guys is pretty insane to me. But she also has work that she can do here in the downside. So it's between Tizo and Bertrude who gets to be let free. I kind of think letting Tizo free is the most interesting thing I could ever do. Because, like, what is Tizo gonna do? Go fly around in the Commonwealth? Sure, right? Like... And I guess he loves Wolfried, and I guess I should deliver him back to Wolfried. Okay. Tizo, you're free. Jodi, Fae, you stay. It's gotta be Tizo, right? Cool. Yeah, it's Tizo. Tizo's free. So, let's go ahead and give you this, and just for the sake of saying goodbye to you in a polite and lovely way, I'm gonna give you some quickness. So this is our crew. This is our finisher crew. So Tizo, you're free. What do you got to say about it? Since Volfried disappeared into the shimmering pool after the liberation rite, Tizo has been in a rather sullen mood. Aw, baby boy! You can imagine why. Apart from the lone minstrel, he has known Volfried longer than anyone among you. Just then, the lone minstrel joins the both of you. It had to be this way, Tizo. I trust you understand. Tizo indicates he understands, though it does not make him feel less sad right now. I understand in turn. The little imp runs over him, then they hold each other tight for a moment. Volfried is now in position to fulfill his plan firsthand. It is an opportunity which he did not expect to have, yet I am certain he shall take it. Though, I do understand the sense of sorrow at the thought of never seeing him again. Tizo coos plaintively at this. Take heart, Tizo. We may all see each other yet, and if the stars decide we cannot do so in this life, then we shall do so in the next. Is that not so? Tizo manages a smile. That is better. Then he turns to you. Thank you kindly, reader. It is not my role or in my nature to play favorites in all of this, and yet, I must say, it gladdens me that Sandalwood is soon to make his mark again upon your land. Tizo likewise wishes Volfried's well in his return and long thereafter. That sounds more like the Tizo whom we know. Now, let us see if we might find something to eat at this late hour, Tizo heartily concurs with the Lone Minstrel's suggestion's course of action. Begging your leave, reader, sometimes a late-night walk out into the cold is good for Tizo's spirits. Until the morning, we are grateful to you for all that you have done for Volfried. They head out into the dark. Volfried, the one-time leader of the Nightwings, you wonder just what sort of impact someone such as he must have back in the Commonwealth. You know full well his loss among the Nightwings is going to be felt, even as the plan of which you are a part comes to much closer to fruition. Okay. Yeah, so Tizo's in. Tizo lives. At dawn, your companions are preparing to depart. Everyone is silent. Your travels are to take you back to the Hulk of Oris, but soon after, the fall shall draw you here again. Let's hit it. Oh, little baby Tizo. He's gonna be so happy to be free. Yeah, so Tizo and Bertrude, very scary mix of group. Jodi believes this route should be clear if you wish to pursue your vocations. I think vocations don't matter anymore. The 8 Scribes shall bless you here. Who cares? Observes that this current of the Folk of Ors is teeming with fish. Alright, sure. You get it. Fish for the denizens of the deep. I wasted all my potions last time, so we could definitely use some potions now. With your remaining time this day, you set your mind to the ancient art of fishing as you drift among the murky waters of the Ragged Rock. You still have nothing to show for your efforts today, however, when Tizo approaches to check in on you. Just then, your lures ring. Moments later, one of the slippery denizens is in your grasp. You thank Tizo for his contribution. I got an 8 ring. It's worth 78. Perfect. Reader 1, fish 0. Alright, let's hit it. This could be a stream that is over in, like, 30 minutes. But, I'll try and savor this last little bit. I mean, God forbid we do another cycle and then I just hit my head against my desk. But I think we're alright.
Hey guys, now, don't tell me, but I ain't seeing that old Mr. Sandalwood with all the rest of you. He finally got out of here, or what? Well, good for him, I guess, as long as he didn't take the rest of you with him. Know what I mean? I value all my customers.
Alright, bud. You want to be maybe a little bit less sleazy for once? And we actually have a good amount of money that I am willing to throw at something. Let's see what we got. We got Fling the Orb. That does nothing. Banished adversaries take longer to return is pretty nice. I think none of this matters. Let's see. The Bear's Triumphant is banished. Can banish adversaries by flinging the orb at them. Yeah, we're fine. This is good. This is our setup. He's going to be a little upset with us, but too bad. It's what you get, bud. Cool.
You guys have a good day out there.
Thanks, Ron. By now, having to make preparations for the rite has been second nature to your companions. They go about the process efficiently, and this time, in almost total silence. You cannot shake the sense that the routine shall not go on much longer. Tizo approaches and confirms that the Nightwing's sigil is set. Everyone has their books and remnants, and the ground is ready. Everything should be in order. Tizo enjoys having these chances to watch the stars with you and the others. Tizo wishes to know that he values your friendship, whatever happens in the days to come. You and Tizo stand together in silence for a time, looking for the stars above to show some indication that the rite is to commence. It is taking too long. Concern begins to well up in you, but then... That was a little bit needless. Why be, like, weirdly vague for no reason? Alright, let's do this thing. Tizo, my boy, you are going to be free on this day. You're going to be our banish man, and then Bertrude's going to be our scorer. Rita, it seems the stars once more have mustered wherewithal to usher in the rites. The sky grows dimmer by the day. An age is ending. Surely you must know by now that you shall never all be free. Yet you continue to struggle to fulfill some senseless plan. But I digress, of course. Some of us still honor the traditions. Some of us hold dear the teachings of the Scribes. The pyres on each side are burning bright. From across the field, you observe the leader of the Pyre Hearts approach and remove his mask.
You Nightwings! You're kind. We never should have bent our backs. For the likes of you, this knight has no love for your accursed country anyway. This knight could simply swim back to the Sea of Solace whenever he so pleases. Perhaps he shall do exactly that once you are finished here.
Alright. Whatever, worm. Alright, I mean, it's set in stone at this point. Tizo. Bertrude. Ooh, Bertrude's doing good right now. And Fae.
If it is really the last time we are to face the Pyre Hearts, then may the 8 Scribes watch over them, and us, here and now, and wherever our paths lead. Pyre Hearts, this might be our final battle. So this night he vows he shall not flee, not this time. Now, on guard.
Whatever, freaks. Alright, we're playing hardball in this one. Whoa! Okay. They're out here to play. You want to play hardball? You want to play hardball? That was easy. Okay. You all want to play as badly as humanly possible. Let's do it. Amazing Barrel, what are you wutting at? No! That was easy. Worm is speed. Yeah, the worms are crazy. So are snakes, for that matter. Snakes are pretty fast.
Another most inglorious defeat is imminent. This knight can feel it in his bone.
Well, that's a great attitude to have. I would argue. Oh, that was good. That was very smart on their behalf. But if it's just a back and forth, I mean, we already got this. This is set. Oh! Oh! Tizo! Cool. Tizo. Tizo. Tizo can't die. Tizo won't die. Oh my god. Oh my god. Tizo. That was nuts. All right, Bertrude, let's hit this. Well, that's an easy win for them. You're just gonna... What are you doing? Why are you cycling? The heck was that? That was the easy victory of my life. You dummies. Cool. Oh, and Bertrude got first place on that one. Interesting. Well, as long as Tizo gets up, we're good. Lurking continues. Just wanted to stop in and say, hey, gotta get ready for the day. Now that work is over, enjoy the stream, man. Hey, Joe. You're so good. Don't you even worry. You are such an important member of chat, always and always and always. Thank you so much for hanging out and saying hey, and enjoy the rest of your day. Tizo is pleased to have prevailed, though he wishes that the Pyre hearts find their peace.
Ye Pyre hearts, ye conducted here with such fury and such desperation that we must commend ye for it, despite the outcome which hath favored us. The Scribes, I knew that they would favor us, I think. Although, I hope they would show mercy on the Pyre hearts, too. Pyre hearts, perhaps we ought return now to the bottom of the Sea of Solace. These rites, this night, he thinks we have learned enough.
Alright, come on, Tizo, please level up. Okay, we got a Fae level up.
Bless the Scribes. Those eternal wisdom shines upon us through the stars and illuminates the path to our salvation. Wait, what did I just say? Why, that was strange, but I feel so invigorated now.
Alright, what do you got? While grasping the orb, Fae sprints and jumps without using stamina. I mean, that's nuts. Sure. Please level up. Yes! Tizo! Alright, Tizo's ready to go. A hidden power, a terrible, unbridled fury seems to have wakened within Tizo. All in all, he seems very enthusiastic about it. I love my evil little demon bat. After casting his implode ability, Tizo returns much faster than usual. That's pretty huge. If banished, Tizo drops a moon sigil. Nope. Cannot raise and rank. That's fine. Now take your sordid business someplace else. All right, let's do this. There's probably one more, and then we're going to Fall of Solon. So, color me excited to be done. Inside the wagon, after overcoming the Pyre hearts, Bertrude is discussing aspects of the outcome with the others when the lone minstrel seeks you out. Pardon the interruption, reader, though I need to ask for a moment of your time, while the night is clear enough for you to see. Please, come have a look outside. Perhaps the news of the next destination may further stir the hearts of your companions. Is it just going to be solemn? Among what stars yet remain shining in the night, one of them now burns as bright as you ever have seen. Is that it? Just one. That's it. Just one. We only did one match. That's crazy. Oh, and it's the fate. Oh, no. This could be a nice little reunion for Fae, actually. What is the pacing of this game? The cycle turns even more quickly now, until such time as it shall shudder to a halt. He makes a sound, then almost like a laugh. I forgot myself, reader. I should not say such things. The Scribes, they would say that one ought focus on the path in front of her. When we set forth to walk a long and labored path, it can be all too much. If we stand back and look upon it as a whole, we may well decide to turn around. But if we begin to walk, whilst casting down our gaze, and whilst resisting well the urge to look too far ahead, we may make steady, careful progress. Soon enough, we may arrive where we endeavored. The lone minstrel bids you a good evening. He best retire for the night. For first daylight, it shall be time again to take to the skies. Alright, who's up? Tizo. You find Tizo there in the black wagon looking rather despondent than usual. When you attempt to reach out to him, he barely acknowledges you. Tizo indicates that he wishes to be left alone right now. You almost run into Fae as you turn to leave.
Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I was just coming to check on little Tizo there. I think maybe he's taken ill or something.
On further inspection, it occurs to you that Fae perhaps is not off the mark and that Tizo is unwell for some reason.
Come on, Tizo. You're gonna be alright. It might be the smallest one of us, but I think you're the toughest. Though, Miss Jodi, I think she's very tough as well.
Tizo appreciates the kind words, but still wishes to be left alone at this time.
Oh, don't be silly, Tizo. You know I won't be doing that, don't you?
Faye turns to you for a moment, lowering her voice.
Miss, I think Tizo would like a little bit of privacy if you don't mind. Though, I don't mean to be rude. It's just Tizo, well, I told him not to eat something. There was this, well, I think it was a mushroom maybe, growing in the corner over there. So I think Tizo's sniffing at it, and he's always hungry, and usually I try to feed him, but this time I told him no. Because I know my mushrooms, and whatever it was, I think it was a mushroom, but it wasn't one I know. Well, Tizo ate it anyway.
Tizo corroborates Faye's recollection of what happened.
So, anyway, I think he is going to maybe, well, cough it up, I guess. I think maybe any moment now. Because when I ate things I thought were mushrooms around here, I coughed them up as well. They made me rather sick, kind of like Tizo over there. I hope that I'm not being inappropriate, because it's not polite, maybe? Oh, come to think of it, Tizo, why don't we go outside? Because then I won't have to clean up after you, like the last time when you ate something I said you maybe shouldn't, remember?
Tizo indicates he remembers full well and regrets not heeding Faye's food-related consult.
Oh, don't be silly. If you've taken ill, then I think you're going to be fine, once you have a little walk outside with me, because you're very tough.
Tizo begins to look better already.
You're my best friend, Tizo. I won't let anything bad happen to you, or at least, I'll try, okay? I don't think anyone could stop you from eating things, though.
Then she snatches Tizo up in her arms and whisks him out of the wagon with her. You hear her calling back to you over her shoulders.
Bye, miss. I'll make sure that Tizo is all right. I promise, okay?
Although the prospect of Faye administering medical advice normally would give you pause, Tizo seems to accompany her willingly enough. The two have shared a rather close bond since Faye first made contact with the group. For someone like her who has lived alone for so long, the friendship must be vital. And as for Tizo, he must be impressed that a non-native of the downside seems to know her way around the food safety even better than he. Oh god, that's such a wrinkle in the plan. Oh no. Okay, my argument. Tizo is a character that is very social, wants to be around as many people as possible, as often as possible. And while, yes, he has a relationship with, hello? Oh god. Your wagon reels from the impact of some sort of massive object slamming into it mid-flight.
False Nightwings.
Orlesh calls down from you atop his wagon.
Again you seek to climb the cursed mountain beneath us. Again you seek to take my rightful place. I should send you crashing down to it, that you might fall as I have.
He stares down at all of you.
But I shall not. Rather we shall meet upon the summit, ere the last cycle of the rites is ended. Until then.
Oh, well, I kind of wanted to have a nice little rendezvous with our good friends, but I guess you're going to take their spot. So, sure, I guess. You sense Tizo shall gain favor from the Scribes if you land here. That's probably in our best interest. Jodi will gain... so Jodi is definitely not going. So it has to be Tizo. What I was saying. I think Tizo is very social and wants to be around as many people as possible. Tizo with Jodi and Faye would be lovely, but Tizo's going to do a lot better with everybody back at the Commonwealth. You make landing on the sacred Mount Oladil after your encounter with Orlesh. Orlesh spoke the truth. He has a right to gain the summit. When the time comes, Celeste shall deem him worthy, and shall let him pass. While he has transgressed against the rites, he has also already been anointed and prevailed. Nothing is written in the book on this, and liberty ought already be his. For the time it seems he has not yet traveled to the summit. Perhaps he is still making preparations with his fellow exiles. When exactly Orlesh intends to be good on his promise, he did not make clear. For now you are to confront Dalbert and the fate upon the summit, but first you may prepare. This seems really bad. Later that afternoon, you accompany Tizo through the old masonry of the temple high road to the monument of Luz Scrollian. Whoa, Tizo's talking to me. Did he do this before?
Hello again, my old friend. I know you and all the scribes are watching over me, and all of us, and I am grateful to you. Your ancient rites are ending soon. I promise you, my friends, and I will make the most of our last 2 chances here.
2 chances? Did he just tell us 2? You return to your wagon after he has finished paying his respects. The summit awaits, but first there is time to continue practicing your vocations. There's 2 chances left. How does he know that? Studying in private is necessary. You excuse yourself from the others to go pore over the Book of Rites and its mysteries. Through greater understanding comes the reader's influence. Through greater understanding. Got it. Hope. We definitely want to get extra hope. Like hope, we have Tizo with high hope, and now we can get another one with high hope. Let's do that. You extract a deeper meaning from the words and the teaching of the Book of the Rites. One you feel in your core, yet struggle to articulate. Inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether from the book or from within, you cannot tell. Cool. Okay, I definitely need to let Tizo go first now that I'm thinking about it. Because 1, if I only get 1 chance, I want Tizo to have it. And 2, I don't think I can win the rights without Bertrude. I think Bertrude's like our strongest player, and I think I have to use Bertrude. Here we go. Here in the narrow passageways of the Mount of Oladil, you encounter a messenger imp sent to deliver the latest news and rumors from the other side. You learn this imp was personally sent by Wulfried himself to fill you in on the latest happenings with him since he was liberated at the fall of Solium. On arriving in the Commonwealth, he was taken in with open arms and soon offered a seat among the Justices of Peace. He admits that he was quite taken aback by everything at first. But he, of course, refused, stating his belief that the traditions of the Commonwealth have been corrupted over the many years. Such remarks put him in real danger. In the next moment, however, he was whisked to secrecy and safety by his sons and daughters of the revolution in a daring raid. The Commonwealth claims he perished in the brazen act. Now Wulfried continues his work to find a way to bring home all the rest of you, and to transform the Commonwealth according to his plan. He closes with a message to you all. Have faith, we shall prevail together in the end. You thank the messenger, the imp, for bringing you this news, which gets all of your companions talking.
The scribes are guiding him. They're on his side. I know they are because they told me so. I heard them. I just know.
Tizo is very excited knowing Wulfried is alive and well back in the Commonwealth. All these years, he planned for this in secrecy. I cannot understand how one can hold to a mere shred of faith for such a time.
Unsurprising. For all of our years, we knew him for a stubborn sort. His will cannot be shaken.
May the scribes keep watching over you wherever you go, sir, even if the rites themselves shall cease, your plan is achieved in full. The news of Wulfried's liberation fills you and your exiles with resolve. The messenger imp accepts a small bite to eat from you and hurries away. We gain +1 hope. Dude, we're crazy stacked for this one. Unfortunately, if there's 2 rights, the next one is going to be awful. You return once more to the Scribes' Gate, where the Gate Guardian awaits under the dim sky. The exiles of the Nightwings and you, Tariq. This is to be one of our final meetings. Greetings, Celeste. The Nightwings are prepared, and afterwards I would have words with you in private, if you please.
It seems to me rather late for words now, Tariq, but I shall hear them once your charges cross the gate. Now, all of you, come forth. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing the Scribes' gate. Once more your companions cross the gate, one after another, and once more you follow them in turn. Celeste regards you all and then waves you through towards the summit. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. And, Tariq?
Aye, Celeste?
You may rejoin the others in a while. For now, I would hear those words of yours.
Certainly, Celeste. Everyone, I shall see you shortly. Well then, we got a couple of lover birds. Alright, we got a little bit of music. Alright, Falconron, what do you got for us?
Oh, hey, guys, it's gotten really cold again up here. But it's worth it. Let me tell you, got a lot of customers been stopping by. Okay, I may be exaggerating just a little since I have been waiting here a little while. I guess, but you're buying anything?
Oh, yeah, baby. That's what we want right there. Permanently increased presence. 30. 30. What do we got? Bertrude's Blast passes through walls. Plus hope, plus presence. Honestly, we only need a little bit. We need 30. So can I make 5 real quick? I can. 5. Value 5. Value 5. There's a 4 and a 1. Yep, we'll take the 4 and we'll take the 1, and we're gonna perfectly make our potion quota right there. Proceed. And since she is our clutch, Bertrude gets the presence. You get that. Since I'm just feeling it right now, we'll go ahead and level up you. Everything else can be left here, I think, just to chill out for a sec. And we'll wait until the rights to attempt these. And I might try and save them until Oralesh if possible. Because we have so much advantage going into this one, we probably don't for Oralesh. And we're looking at a full set, so let's do it.
So, be seeing you guys.
Let's do it. The time has come again to deliver one of your fellow exiles to a homecoming in the Commonwealth, lest your adversaries, the Fate, achieve the same instead. The lone minstrel has returned and approaches as you await this for the signal of the stars. There is something I wish to ask you, reader, something which ordinarily would not be my place to discuss in any detail. You have observed the stars. If you would not mind my asking you in such a direct manner, how many liberation rights are you supposing yet remain? 2 remain, including this one now. You tell him only the logical deduction which you have been able to make based on all of your readings of the stars of late, that there shall be one final liberation rite after tonight. I concur with your evaluation, reader, madame. I wish to make you certain that you are aware, so that you and the Nightwings may yet make the most of your remaining time together, thus. As to what shall happen once the final liberation rite is ended, you soon shall both find out. But lo, it seems we are called upon once more. Look forth. Okay, yeah, so it's gonna be Jodi and Fae left behind. And I think they would be perfectly happy with that arrangement, honestly. They have enough friends to make here in the downside between the two of them. Certainly Jodi and Tamitha have a lot to talk about. And then the Fate and Fae have a lot to talk about. And the two of them together are just lovely.
Rita, I would ask that you think back on just for a moment, if you please. When you first looked upon the Book of the Rites, think back upon the words that it revealed.
Oblige the voice that tells you more. Oblige the voice that tells you more. Would the scribes were here among us still, I would not sing your praises to them, rest assured. I trust that you shall savor this occasion. You shan't to be obliged me for much longer. The pyres burn, and each of the triumphants is present and prepared. I concur. The pyres burn, and each of the triumphants is present and prepared. Then, anointed one of the fate, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. The bent old cur Dalperd steps forward and struggles for a moment with his mask.
Greetings, good heralds. I am called Dalperd Oldheart. It is the greatest honor of my years to stand upon this sacred site, upon which the 8 scribes first anointed these glorious proceedings. Nightwings, we are honored to be in your presence once more.
Father, they are our adversaries, not our hosts. We need not be so gentle with them. They shall do their utmost to keep you from your freedom. Dalbert, your son speaks out of turn. Control him.
My sincerest apologies for his unnecessary outburst. Alma, please, we have worked towards this opportunity, and we must make the most of it.
He puts his mask back on.
My son and I stand ready to begin.
All right. Oh my god, they have a Tizo.
Nightwings, your choice. In whose name shall you conduct this liberation rite?
I wish you the wisdom of the scribes in making your choice, reader.
And I wish you to come prepare our song with me, Tariq.
Wow, just a little lover's quarrel. All right, it's Tizo. Tizo, my boy, make it happen. He makes a lovely little noise. And just for the sake of being just the best we can possibly be, Jodi... Oh god. Oh god, am I really gonna do this? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, because I'm a crazy man. Jodi, you get to play in this last rite. And I need to level you up to max. Because you gotta clutch it in the next game. As you will, reader. Alright, Bertrude, you're our striker.
For the one and for thee, reading one, we shall do this.
Oh god, this is gonna be rough.
We give thanks to have this opportunity to face you, O Nightwings. Now let us strive to our fullest capability, with honor and with grace.
Save your strength for the right, Father, and for the voyage home. Let this be our final battle against them.
Alright, Tizo, clutch this. Baby boy. Yo! I had it. Okay. That was a really bad play on your part. What are you all doing? Why y'all playing crazy? Wow, that was so close. Wow, his lucky break is the most annoying ability ever. No, Tizo! Come on, let's clutch this. Oh my god, they're playing hard. Okay. No! Easy wins. Easy wins. Okay. Alright. We're leading. We just have to keep leading. We have to trade and win.
You can do this, Almer. I believe in you, and so do the scribes.
Faye, you're not even playing.
Wait, what? What is this? What are you talking about? This is the liberation rites. What are you doing?
Faye pulls at her mask.
I think you are my friend, Almer, and so I am doing my best for you. And for your father. He believes in you, and so do I. But we have to do our very best as well, and I know we cannot all prevail, only the Fate or the Nightwings, but not both, not both.
Almer looks in stunned silence. The outburst seems to have disarmed everyone.
We all have to do our very best, and then the Scribes, they're gonna watch over us and make everything okay. You'll see, Almer, you'll see.
She puts her mask back on as the liberation rite continues. Whether her words flustered your adversaries or emboldened them, you cannot tell. Alright, Tizo, my man. Tizo, you gotta do some crazy stuff right now. Oh god, it's just Jodi. Oh god, it's just Jodi. Oh. That's not what you like to see. Honestly, I'm just gonna go for it. Well, that was a nice, easy kill right there.
Hear us now, O noble Jomir. We are beseech you. Surely we cannot prevail without your aid. If ever you have heard my prayers, I beg you, please smile upon us now.
Whether from his prayers to the scribe or simply from Dalbert's resolve, something comes over your fellow exiles here. If you are banished now, they shall not soon return. If they are banished now, they shall not soon return. What does that mean? Okay, they either got hope or we lost hope. Kind of hard for me to tell. Get him. Get him. Please. Okay, if we win this one, it's pretty clutch. We have a full lead at this point. No, I was playing advantage. Oh, we have crazy hope. Our hope looks terrible. Oh god, they just like destroyed us. Okay, I'm glad I took extra hope because we're gonna need it for sure. No. Whoa. Okay, okay, we are playing a scary game now. We only need one more heavy hit, though, and then we win. So it's not that scary, but the hope is very scary. No! Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's see it. I don't have Hedwyn. I don't have Volfried to fall back on. Check this, check this, check this. Boom. And it's win. We win. That was easy. That was an easy win. Okay, I'm glad we didn't use potions for that one because we're gonna need potions for Orlesh. This is gonna be a struggle for this last one. Alright, Tizo, you're free. Go free, my boy. Thus ends the liberation rite. Alright, Tizo, let's go. The exile appointed by the Nightwing shall be free. Tizo, my love. Absolved of all misdeeds. Return to the glory in the Commonwealth. His adversaries and all others shall remain, to carry out their rightful sentences.
Alas, my son, once more it seems I have failed you.
Father, wait! What good is freedom to us anyway if we would be apart? Those are true words, baby. Look at Tizo's lovely little statue. Tizo makes a noise. Look at his white robes, Tizo. Tizo is stunned by what transpired and by what he thinks is about to happen. He looks around as the reality of what transpired sinks in. He realizes now this is goodbye, at least for the time. He struggles to express the gratitude he feels as having served the Nightwings this many years. He also does not know what to expect from the Commonwealth and whether he will be accepted. Nevertheless, he vows he will keep doing his part to the benefit of Volfried's plan. With that, he splashes into the shimmering pool and is gone from view. You hear him chirping one last time. Tizo wishes for the best for each of you and asks that you remember him. Tizo earned his freedom. Godspeed, Tizo. Look at our good boy. Look at this lovely boy going to his freedom. Okay. So, Bertrand, you're up. Come on, Jodi. Level up. Yes! Oh, this is excellent. The rites would have me think that I have nothing left to learn. Whether that be falsehood or a contradiction, I am yet uncertain. Nonetheless, I shall press on, for the limits of my mastery always have exceeded my grasp, and I expect that they always shall. Any adversary banished by Jodi takes 30% longer to return. Jodi permanently gains presence. That's huge. We're never going to salute. When landing a jump, Jodi briefly stuns, making them drop the orb. Oh god, the presence is pretty big. Let's take presence, for sure. She's going to have huge presence. Fae is the same. Bertrand cannot rise in rank. Yeah, I mean, you're already at max. What?
Father, wait!
Calm yourself, my son. The liberation rite is ended.
But, no. How can I be so calm even after what happened?
Did you strive this night with all your heart, Almer?
Yes, but it was not enough. It was not enough.
No, my son. It was enough. It was more than enough.
Father!
He has a very Anakin Skywalker energy. Alright, let's do this thing. You return to the wagon after having prevailed against the fate in the liberation rite. An important victory.
Would that we make good of all such incidents.
You succeeded in liberating Tizo, who returned to the Commonwealth in glory. Soon, you shall be summoned back to Mount Oladil for one final liberation rite, and thus one final chance to influence the outcome of your plan. So many events already in motion, but even as you wait for them to happen as they will, there still is something vital you can do. Now, reader, if you please, I fear the stars have little patience left. I mean, it's just gonna be... Oh, what? We're still playing. Okay. You turn back towards the darkness to look upon the last few stars too stubborn to relinquish their light. I thought we were just going straight to, the golden star. What the heck is all this? Why are we even pretending to play games right now? Like, we're just gonna go straight back and fight Orlesh. This doesn't even matter. This doesn't make any sense to me. Oh god, I don't want to talk to Gol. Oh god, I have to talk to Gol. Oh no. Sure. Gol it is. Let's... One last chance to make myself faint on stream. Once more, you are to face the Tempers. Then, although I wonder... He hesitates before saying anything further. You cannot sense his thoughts. I apologize. I was lost in thought there for a moment. Let us make way for the Ridge of Gol, where everyone is feeling more refreshed as much as possible. Alright, we're rushing it. We're gonna make perfect time. It is daybreak. You are set forth now for the Ridge of Gol, for what appears to be the final time. Thereafter you shall return here for one last exile's final chance at liberty. Oh, good god, this is gonna be hard. 2 demons in a row. Let's face off 2 demons. We'll get real good at fighting demons. Everybody else, sorry, you are screwed. Oh, that was Nightwings right there. We just passed them. What are they doing? They're just playing games? That's strange of them. Alright, let's see. We can go to just Hollow Root or the Blooming Pool. Fae senses the presence of the 8 scribes along this route. Jodi expressed an interest in taking this route to the Ridge of Gol. Fae it is. Let's hit it. You and Fae wander together for a while through the rolling hills of the Blooming Pool, sometimes in circles. What exactly she is looking for, she cannot explain. Eventually, however, she happens upon something that never caught your notice.
Look at this. Look at this, miss. The Scribes. They walked this very path. I think they did, and they left this here for us.
The object she procures does not seem to emanate with some sort of faint and ancient power. Whoa. Grants an exile plus 1,000 enlightenment. What? Okay. What good is that going to do me? We're all at max. Sure. I mean, I'm just going to sell it. Thanks, I guess. I mean, it's a cool idea. It's a little late. I guess that's to, like, clutch out the end if you somehow didn't level somebody up, which, why would you do that? How would you do that? I'm not sure. I guess Jodi could have been that person for us. But I don't know why you would make that mistake.
Hey guys, say, what are you guys doing all the way back here? I know it's not so bad here. I was thinking, I got some pretty good stuff. I think you ought to check it out.
10 Stardust. Yo. Okay, well, Tizo's wings we can get rid of. And we can get rid of this. 10 Stardust. Am I even going to level up anything by 10? Presents. I suppose, theoretically, I can buy this. Get rid of this. And we have officially maxed out all of our items. We are officially done. So hopefully nothing else requires our money because we are done. Unlearn any masteries and choose again. That could be kind of huge for us. I might buy that before the last game. We'll see. But of who is left, Jodi gets the red ring and Fae gets the green ring. Or do we want to do something else? At the start of the round, briefly gain infinite stamina if an ally has ruined band. Honestly, them having the rings is perfect. They're just so cute. I just love the two of them. So, yep, you're gonna get the ruined bands.
Pleasure doing business with you guys. So,
Alright, whatever, Falcon. After making all the necessary preparations amid the sweeping plains of the Ridge of Gull, you and your companions await the commencement of the rites. It is quieter even than usual at the onset of such events. The lone minstrel appears, bearing some sort of news. I have checked, and it appears as though the Tempers have not yet arrived, reader, madame. There is no sign of Ignarius or anyone. Their sigil is not set either. If what he says is true, your adversaries are not present, then you presume the rite cannot commence. However, the stars themselves indicate you are mistaken. I kind of wish we just, like, went up against, like, a team of all, drive imps. Just, like, full-on drive imps here at the end. Obviously that wouldn't happen, but that'd be amazing. Alright. If it's Ignarius, I'm gonna lose my voice.
Rita, the Commonwealth, your home. Today it is aflame, much like a stack of books.
Oh, you would know about that.
Aflame because of you. Because of your outlandish plan. Not that I care, not that you shall live to see this place again. Your attempts at revolution shan't succeed.
Oh, there's literally no one.
Though by all means, keep trying. For as for myself, I shall enjoy presiding over these remaining rites.
I don't know why I went British at the end there. The rite is set to commence, but your adversaries, they have failed to show. This was no sign of them to face us here this time. They have no chance to make it to the fall of Solium again. Indeed, as the rites are drawing to a close, some of the triumphants whom you have met, perhaps they are beginning to decide the stars are not worthy of heeding any longer. Ignarius, you wonder whether he would be good up on the rites like that. He did give up, sorry. He did seem rather disaffected, having failed in the liberation rite before. Perhaps he did finally decide to quit for good. In any case, we have begun the ceremony here, and so I ask that we end it. Well, this is about to be the saddest thing you've ever seen. I mean, who cares, right? You... just the most presents that anybody could ever have. Absolutely. And Fae. Look how much presents we have.
So, do we just put out that little flame over there? I mean, is that it?
Alright. I don't remember this from the first time I played this game. Wow, this is pretty bleak. And it is done. Wow, how absolutely sad. The Nightwings prevailed by default. Not that their adversaries even care. Wow, tragic. Absolutely tragic.
Narr, 'twas time we wasted here. Although our kind, we live for very, very long.
Alright, well, I mean, nobody can earn experience points. Cool. May misfortune find you. Oh, that went fast. Alright, let's go to the Golden Star. Let's do this thing. Orlesh is waiting. Let's go give him a beating. No one speaks further of the Tempers back at the Black Wagon. Everyone is instead preoccupied with the right that is to come.
Is it true then? This is gonna be our last chance to go home?
The stars always shine with truth. The ending of the cycle of the rights is now upon us. He looks over to you. Please look forth, reader, madame, and see this for yourself. You may well surmise where we are going next. The others turn to you as well. You turn towards the wagon's door. You know what you shall see out there. Now, however, the time has come to face it. The dim and fading light of the final star still pierces through the darkness, demanding your attention, guiding you towards the end point of your path. Alright. Alright. Oh, there's no stars. Oh, this is so sad. Look how sad. Just a starless sky. Just no stars. This is bleak. Honestly, change requires sacrifice. That's life. That's how the world works. Too bad. You are summoned to the Fall of Solium for your 7th and final liberation rite. Thus shall the cycle of the rites be ended for an age. You sense that, if the rite shall ever commence again, it shall not be during your lifetime, or that any of your companions, even the longest-lived ones. The stars revealed to you one more thing. The adversaries whom you shall face shall be Orlesh. Already he has crossed Scribes' gate and awaits your arrival. If the 8 scribes created the Nightwings in their own likeness, perhaps it is only fitting that the Nightwings should, in the end, be forced to face themselves. It is a shame that we should have to confront Orlesh in the end. Our goals should never have been at cross purposes. I am surprised that this is what the scribes desire. For now, it may be best that you recover until dawn. Regain your strength as best you can for the coming trial. Rest well, reader. The group disperses as exhaustion sets in. At dawn, you fly to Mount Olidil to make a final effort to achieve your plan and get someone home. But who? Well, we know who. It's going to be Bertrude. It's got to be Bertrude. I got to leave the 2 behind. Foolish reader! Your so-called friends, you are accomplice to their hateful plot. They are exploiting you. You shall never have your freedom. Bud, I was never going to get my freedom even if we stayed to your plan. By the dawn, you are already up and about after a troubled slumber. The Black Wagon is prepared for its final voyage to the Fall of Solium. No one speaks. Let's go! As you lift to the skies, the lone minstrel raises his voice. Oh, so somebody did speak, cutting through the somber mood. Reader, a certain olden ballad comes to my mind just now. I think it benefit the circumstance. Perhaps it may help to pass the time along our flight. Would you mind it very much if I were to play this song for the Nightwings? By all means. You urge the lone minstrel to play his ballad so you all among you might hear it. He begins without another word. Hold on. Hold on. Let's up that volume just a little bit. A little bit more. Let's savor this. Did I just break it? Oh no! What? That's a real shame. There we go. Well done. They timed that very well. You touch down amid the splendors of the Mount Olidil to make pilgrimage to the summit for the one last time. There, one last liberation rite shall soon commence. There, one last exile shall regain his or her freedom. All others shall remain to carry out their sentences here in the downside for the remainder of their lives. And in the Commonwealth, the plan of which you are a part of shall either come to fruition or shall be suppressed. I mean, there ain't no doubt we're gonna win this one. After having landed, you join Bertrude on an expedition to the monument of Jomer Many Main for what is likely to be the final time.
We beseech you, ancient gods of the last age, and we invoke thine aid. We have traveled far to gain this summit, many times, and stood steadfast with our compatriots who seek to leave this place. We now offer ye our service eternally, if ye would grant us such a boon as to ensure our triumphant in the coming night. Long would we serve ye, O ancient god, should ye accept our offer here and now.
Soon she is finished. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Jomir Many Main has shown you favor. At dawn you shall begin your last ascent. For now, your vocations may occupy what little time you have to spare. She gains +2 presence. That is big! Okay, so presence I think is got to be the end-all be-all for us. You locate a secluded area nearby where you should be ready to study the Book of Rites. Through great understanding comes the reader's influence. What do we want, quickness or presence? Quickness is pretty big, but presence, oh god. Quickness. You concentrate on your knowledge of the 8 scribes and how together they compose the Book of Rites, among their many feats. Inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether from the book or from within, you cannot tell. You gain celerity. Celerity. Alright, let's do this thing. Alright, here we go. Final game. Oh god, please don't make me redo this match a whole bunch of times. A messenger imp with news and rumors from the other side manages to track down your wagon in the quiet solitude of Mount Olidil. The imp's latest information is about none other than Tizo, who was liberated at the fall of Solium. Everybody says he is the first creature of his kind to come to the Commonwealth. While this unique status brought Tizo no shortage of prestige, he nonetheless experienced difficulty acclimating to the new environment. It seems that he grew quite despondent. Then, at last, he managed to track down Volfried's agents, with whom he is working to find a means to bring more exiles home. Thus has the revolution grown stronger. He also left for you a special verbal message via his most trusted messenger, who rears up and intonates. Tizo wants you to know he is doing well, but misses you and hopes to see you again. You thank the messenger for the report and ask that they relay your kind regards. Your companions soon begin to talk in turn.
Very, very bright, that one. Would have served well as our familiar. Perhaps someday yet it shall be so. I'm so happy for him. I wish I could have had a friend like him when I was there.
Truly, once more it seems I underestimated him in his resilience. I shall look forward to our next reunion, Tizo, perhaps when we are back among the stars. The news of Tizo's adventures in the Commonwealth fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Your companions gain +1 hope. This is big. We have every advantage. Okay. This is going to be a hard match, but we have a bunch of advantages. We have quickness, we have presence, we have hope. We're good. You stand before the Scribes' gates with your companions. The gate guardian is there as ever, but you sense something is different in her.
The exiles of the Nightwings, you shall not meet again after the coming right. Tariq and I, it shall be time we take our rest, I think.
Greetings, Celeste. I would tell you that the Nightwings are prepared, though this time I am uncertain anyone among us feels thus.
We have a duty to uphold, Tariq.
And then what, Celeste?
And then nothing, not for the rights or us, not till the dawn of a new age. Now, Nightwings, step forward. Please state your names and what it is that you seek whilst crossing the Scribes' gate.
One by one, your fellow exiles approach her, now with sureness in their step.
We are called Big Bertrude. We seek to fulfill the plan of Sandalwood. We are fond of him and his beliefs, and then to go about our business.
I am Captain Jodariel. I have come to honor my commitments I have made to my companions, and to the common goal, which we have come to share.
Oh, my name is Fae, and I'm here because the Scribes. This is the path that they have shown me and all of us. I like it when they call to me.
Finally, you step once more. You, a common wanderer who simply wants to see her quest to its completion, and who managed to come this far with this group. The gate's guardian observes you for a moment, then motions past the archway towards the summit.
The 8 Scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Except you, Tariq. You stay right here.
I thought you said.
The rites are not yet ended, Tariq.
He looks to her, then over to the rest of you. Pardon me, everyone. I shall be there when the stars align. The gate guardian and the lone minstrel remain together as the rest of you depart.
They're gonna kiss.
You see her blushing? They're 2 angels who just got a little naughty. You have gained the summit of Mount Oladil for the 7th time, the final time in which any of you shall have a chance to leave the downside. All right, Falcon, you got any special items for us? Because I don't think I have anything to sell you.
Hey, guys. I guess you probably heard the big news, huh? Yeah, I'm going out of business here, I guess. Just hasn't been the same, you know, with all the stars all fading out and stuff. Anyways, I just wanted to say, you guys are great. I sure am gonna miss having you guys as customers and all that. But I got some good news, though, too. All my stuff, it's on sale now, and I will throw a little extra there just for you, okay? So, enjoy, and maybe I'll be seeing you guys around, okay?
Henceforth, all of Falcon's Rons are 5% off. Bless his heart. 5% off. We got another 10. We don't need it. 20, 20, 20. Max, max, max. And potions. So I'll take 1 little scribe snuff from you, just to make you happy.
Oh, nice. That's one of them scribe snuffer things out there. 1 dab of those little guys, and you'll be like, woo, know what I mean? They're pretty popular, but I got my connections, and they got their connections, and they got their connections, and they got plenty more of those. So just come and see me and Dad here later on. We ought to have 1 back in stock.
All right.
Tell all your friends about us, because I already told mine.
Let's do it. Oh, I'm scared. You've gained the mount. What? We already read this. The lone minstrel finds you clutching the Book of Rites, seeking there perhaps some bit of wisdom that has eluded you thus far. Reader, we may not have a chance to speak again after this. I may have to go. I wish to say that I am grateful for having made your acquaintance, and I shall remember you with fondness. I wish you well, this night and always. Go forth with glory. Then he looks up, and he extends his hand in friendship. You clasp it. You sense Bertrude has joined you, all of your companions there, with her, in fact.
Reading one, thou art both wiser and less irritating than most others of thy kind. We have learned something from thee, and we are grateful.
Oh, miss, the others, they said that they wanted me to join them and come talk to you, so here I am. The scribes are watching us.
Rita, Let us prevail here tonight. I have taken orders from many different leaders in my day. You should know you are a rarity among them. You look upon your fellow exiles, your companions with whom you have withstood the downside, and with whom you shall now conduct this final rite. Begging your pardon, but my time has come. We shall see each other soon. He departs. After this night, the outcome of Wolfried's plan, the plan of which you all have been a part, shall be decided, one way or another. For now, all you can do is strive to prevail against your final adversaries, so that one last companion may go free. You rise to join your fellow exiles as the last remaining stars ignite. Alright, let's do it. And I need a drink of water. Oh, okay, we're here. This has been like 20 streams of coming. Look upon for the last time upon the fall of Solium, dear reader. Hear me for one last time. For soon the few remaining stars shall fade away, leaving you stranded there for your remaining days. For those forsaken lands where you deserve to be. The rabble that you roused here in the Commonwealth shall be put down. The exiles whom you liberated shall all fall in line. But first, let's get on with this last liberation rite. Look at those true Nightwings. You face now none other than yourselves. Each so unlike the glorious Nightwings of yore. 'Tis a shame none of you shall soon be free. For you deserve each other. Alright. The pyres burn and each of the triumphants is present and prepared. But before the lone minstrel can concur as per the custom,
Not another word.
the demon Orlesh slowly raises his clawed fingers to his mask.
The false Nightwings have arrived at last. Long have I awaited this. My freedom once was stolen from me. Then I was cheated of it here upon this mountaintop. I may now attempt to take it from me once more.
He stands there for a moment silent. Then, Orlesh dons his mask and stands prepared.
May these damned rites never cease, forever, for the misery which they caused.
Oh god, he's got plus 40!
Nightwings, we shall not meet again after tonight, for the cycle of the rites is all but ended. Thus, I would have your decision. On whose behalf shall you conduct this final liberation rite? The one whom you anoint, or else the exile Orlesh shall be returned.
Godspeed, Rita. You know what is at stake better than I. I have the utmost faith in you to make the best decision and conduct this rite with glory.
Nightwings, the star's remaining light grows dim. Your decision, please.
Alright, every advantage. It is time to choose who, if any among you, shall go free this one last time. The rest of you shall remain in the downside till the end of your days. One by one, you meet the gaze of each of your fellow exiles. Bertrude, Jodariel, Fae. Your fellow exiles, your companions, your friends. Together you have come this far, but now the downside and the rights conspire to tear the group apart and disrupt your plan. There is no turning back. Hey, CQDK. We are about to let the last of our exiles here in Pyre go free. It has been quite a little ordeal, that's for sure. But with a glance, you reassure your fellow exiles that you now know what to do. Oh ho ho, this is gonna be scary. Alright, you get hope. You get quickness. It's 16 in the morning. You know, it's just how it be. Faye is gonna need the presence because you're gonna be holding the back line for us. And how do we feel about your abilities? Your abilities are fine, so we will leave this here. All right, Bertrude. This is it. This is the end.
We have no fondness for the Commonwealth, though, should we return unto that realm, we shall endeavor to transform it in accordance with our plan.
Your choice is cast. As for your other companions, you sense a clarity of thought and purpose in each of them. You stand ready to support Bertrude as well as you. All right. Everything we've ever wanted. Then let us see what it is that Bertrude returns, ere the returning of the cycle finally ends. Look at that presence. That's huge presence.
Blessed are the scribes who grant to me and all of us this final chance that we might free our dear friend Bertrude.
Those are to be my adversaries then. And who is it, I wonder, who asserts her will over that group?
You sense Orla searching for you, almost reaching out to you.
You the shadow of the false night wings. You are nothing to me, but you who would relinquish your own freedom for the sake of them, strange. It is fitting then that I should have to face one such as you.
Then Orlish stands as ready, signaling to his two allies to do the same. By the light of the dawn, the cycle of the right shall cease. Oh, no.
By dawn, light of the dawn, the cycle of the rites shall cease. Let us see if we can finish this ordeal before that time.
The sky above grows to shudder. The final liberation rite is about to commence.
Tariq?
I am prepared, Celeste. Then let our song this evening shake the stars themselves. Aye, Celeste, let us make sure of it. All right, this is it, all to play for. Here we go, let's do it. Yeah, come at me. Oh God, Fae. Yes! Okay, we have an advantage. You make so many voices. Yep, each character has a voice. Get him! Get that man! Whoa, 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 whoa. Careful, bud. Okay. Oh, whoa! That was such a good play. Wow, and I just killed myself. Terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. Alright, Bertrude, you gotta win back some points for us.
The sky rains ash. Soon shall your pyres own mingle with them.
Just then, the skies above begin to rain down fire, those throes of the final cycle of the rites, and the ending of the age. Bud, don't make it any harder for me. What are you doing? Oh, good God. Oh, good God. What are you doing? That's so unfair. Ah, I tried so hard. He only did 8 damage, though. That's fine. We'll take the disadvantage. I don't care. Get destroyed. Whoa. What are you doing? How are you doing this? How are you doing this? Wow. So frustrating. Oh, the fire. How dare you? Bertrude? Go fast. Oh, good God. This is gonna be so hard. Yes! Yes! Okay. 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 Alright, we're doing this. Yeah, try me, bud. little baby Tizo is kind of a scary prospect, honestly. But okay, you want me to catch an orb for you? Sure. You want me to play this game? I'll play this game. Get destroyed. Try me. You're gonna throw an orb at me and give me that? Sure, I'll take it. I ain't playing this game with you. Ooh! I'll take an what? Oh! Yo! Okay, Jodi. Jodi! Jodi, I needed you! This is very hard. It's fantasy basketball. Oh, Jodi. That was terrible. That was such a problem on my part. That didn't hit you? Sure. Oh! I have unlimited stamina. No. Okay, I forgot. Fae has unlimited stamina when she holds orb. That's huge. That's gonna make this whole game. Get him. Oh! Okay. So Fae is kind of clutch. That's fine with me. Wow, good block. Okay, that slowdown was not lovely. Slowdown is not lovely. Wow. Are you serious? Okay. Oh. Oh no, a Tizo with orb is so scary. Wow. We are getting dominated by 2. This is not good. Okay, chill. Stop trying to do, like, exclusive strats and just chill. There's one. Tizo has to take it, and he's in. Okay.
All of you, you shall rot here. You shall rot here as I have all these many years. You false Nightwings, you would deny me once again my rightful liberty. You who deny the liberty to all the triumphants you face, you vanquish under the guise of the tradition of those blasted scribes. Come, let us continue with this glorious affair.
Alright, let's do it. Bud, I'm not messing with you. I want nothing to do with you. You scare the heck out of me. Get destroyed! That's it. Okay, hard jump. Boom. We're back in the lead.
So the false Nightwings bear their fangs at last. But that cannot be your finest effort. You think you deserve your freedom more than I? Then fight for it, damn you.
Honestly, Fae... If I can get Fae on, like, a jumping spree, I think we might have, like, preset victory. Ooh! Yo, what are you doing? You just gave me preset victory. Yeah! Please, sir. Okay, there's a Tizo with ball. Tizo with ball. This guy with ball. You have unlimited as well. Oh, that was bad. That was such a bad play on my part. We have advantage on... Gosh darn it. We have an advantage on point values right now, but we don't have a recovery. So, like, I'm screwed if we lose this. If we lose this matchup, it's over. What the heck was that? How on earth did he do that? Wow, that got me. Okay, I'll take a free win there. And that's an easy victory right there. Oh my gosh, why didn't I run? Yes! Just take it. Yes, we're back. We're back. And we've recovered health. We have 3 hits left. Orlesh stands, breathing heavily. He looks back on the thin lick of flame that is a smoldering pyre before turning his attention back to your triumvirate. Okay. Sure, bud. Okay, Fae, you can kind of just clutch this out, honestly. You don't really need me to do much. Oh, God. Yes! Yes! This is it. Fae. Fae! Woo! Yes! Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, we did it. Oh, we did it. The outcome which left little room for doubt. That was so hard. And thus the scribes have chosen. Bertrude, you are free, finally.
A foreseeable outcome, and the one which we desire.
You look upon Bertrude for what you expected shall be the last time you see each other. Any moment now, the shimmer pool shall engulf her. Any moment now, she will return to glory, to join Volfried's agents in the Commonwealth to help achieve the plan. Any moment now, the cycle of the rites shall end, until at least the dawn of a new age. Any moment now. Oh God, what's about to happen? I'm scared. Is Orlesh about to sacrifice himself? Please no. Don't do this. Don't do this, Orlesh. Please. No. Nightwing's Rita, what have you done? I'm freaking out, man.
A fortunate result, now coupled with an inauspicious turn.
Each prior time upon the fall of Solium, the shimmering pool has opened following the liberation rite and taken in whichever exile prevailed. But now all is still, and the light of the stars above has all but died. You sense a growing fear that it is already too late, that the shimmer pool shall not reveal itself again. Orlesh approaches, his head bowed.
The 8 scribes saved their greatest treachery for last.
Then something else catches his notice.
Wait.
A sudden rush of starlight cascades through the stillness of the summit. The shimmer pool has appeared again, different somehow, but open. Bertrude looks upon it, but it does not engulf her, at least not yet.
It seems I was mistaken then. The 8 scribes, this is not their greatest treachery. It is their greatest jest. The shimmer pool is flung wide open.
It seems that all are worthy now of freedom. Orlesh strides towards the shimmer pool, but... Halt, Orlesh. Orlesh glances over at the lone minstrel, almost in surprise. The shimmer pool has lost most of its strength. You step inside, and you shall surely drown. Of that I can assure you. He laughs to himself at this. Then,
we have all been cheated.
No, the shimmer pool is revealed, and one of you may still return as planned. But, as for who returns, someone shall have to choose, ere the last light of the stars is extinguished, and the rites cease to be. This is the final trial of the scribes.
The final trial of the scribes. Then, our confrontation, the liberation rite, it all was meaningless.
No, the victor of the confrontation is to be the one to make the choice amongst those closest to the scribes, either the anointed or she who anointed them. Oh god, what? I can leave?
Then we may still return, although perhaps the reading one may leave this place instead.
Aye, it shall be either you, the reader, or
It shall be either or.
Bertrude. Please make your decision quickly, lest it shall be forfeit. I do not know for how much longer the light of the stars shall offer you this gift.
We mislike having to rush unnecessary, and yet we are deciding here in this. We believe it ought to be the reading one who shall return. Go now from this place.
Bertrude wishes to give up her freedom so that you may regain yours. Very well. Reader, madame, the choice which Bertrude made, or rather, the choice which she gave, it is now yours to make instead.
This choice, it may keep bouncing back and forth like this. Absurd.
It may, until such time as one of you is willing to accept the burden in the outcome of the choice. That is the trial, and I fear that there is little time remaining now.
Rita, if you and your companion are too cordial to each other to accept freedom, either one of you, then I shall gladly take it. Freedom ought to be more than some flirtatious trifle to exchange.
Rita, what is your will? I mean, I want Bertrude to go, but if she chooses me, then that means she is content staying. And if I choose her and she chooses Oralesh, that's terrible. So, I'm going. See you later. Your mind is made up. You have chosen to be free yourself. I see and understand. Then it is done. Bertrude looks to you this one last time, her heart filled with unspoken understanding. You turn to the lone minstrel for an instant, but another instant later, he is gone, and everyone, all you feel is the coldness of the rush of water coursing around you. Bertrude gave her freedom so that you may have yours. May you return in glory. Godspeed, reader. Whoa, I'm like a little ball. Oh, I'm a star. No stars remain aloft. The cycle of the rites, it is finished. The Commonwealth, what shall become of it? What shall become of us all? Nightwings, the opportunity to gain your freedom from the downside. Was it not enough? Alright, let's do this thing. I turned into a star. Here I am, a star in the sky. That night, an exiled reader returned to the Commonwealth. She was to be the last. The stars had faded. The cycle of the rites had run its course. She found the Commonwealth in great upheaval. Spurred by the efforts of 6 liberated exiles, Wolfried Sandalwood's revolutionary plan had incited the masses. These exiles, in the starless sky, portended the return of the Scribes. Portended. The people surged into the streets, shoulder to shoulder. Led by the 6 exiles, their voices shook the heavens. The leadership of the Commonwealth panicked. No blood was shed that night, and by dawn it was over. The leaders of the Commonwealth had cast themselves back into exiles, or joined in this new cause. Thus, it's the 838th year the Commonwealth had fallen. The new Syrian Union declared its sovereignty in the next year. Among the changes its elected leaders ushered in, they vowed never to cast their people into exile, and they abolished the old Commonwealth's decree forbidding literacy. Today, we still remember all of this. Is that it? And we remember the exiles of the downside, whose deeds led to the dawning of our new age, whether they returned or not. All right. So now we get to kind of see what everyone's up to. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, the lone minstrel bade the remaining Nightwings take the Black Wagon and seek their fortunes elsewhere in the downside. Their parting was heartfelt but brief. He returned here at the summit of Mount Olidil with Celeste, where the two of them would chronicle the final outcome of the cycle. Neither Tariq nor Celeste were ever seen again. We know all of this now through song attributed to them. Some claim these songs originated in the taverns of the Syrian Union and merely were imbued with weight of folktale. However, exiles liberated from the downside corroborated each other's claims at having met this duo that presided over the liberation rites. Another folktale suggests that these minstrels were heralds of the Scribes. Having fulfilled their obligations, they departed the world we know and rejoined their patrons. One of their famous songs describes another, simpler outcome, that the two gave up their duties and the rights in favor of a life that they could share together. In any case, they are likely to remain the subject of such verses and such songs, for it was they who watched over the rites and ushered in our times. Alright, so that is the Nightwings over here. So let's start with the non-Nightwings. We'll go to Orlesh last. As the cycle of the rites drew to a close, it grew evident that the chance at freedom from the downside had forever slipped from Dulmir and Almir Oldheart's grasp. Thus, they and the exiles of the Fate returned to Jomir Valley. There they struggled to get by, as exiles of the downside tend to do. Sometime after the rites had ended, the Old Heart had last heard the news of the Commonwealth had fallen. This was well after the fact, of course, but it brought old Dalhart great joy. Despite his forthright manner, he had no love for the nation that cast him down, along with his son. Dalbert Oldheart passed peacefully in his sleep before the next new moon. In his final days, he implored his son to undertake a pilgrimage to the Scribes. Almer never shared in his father's view of the Scribes, but respected Dalbert's wishes, and so, after a period of mourning, Albert began a new journey. One day, during his travels, he ran almost headlong into another exile after paying homage to the Spring of Jomir. He was stunned to find that it was none other than the one he knew as Fae, from their days as adversaries in the rites. Fae was overjoyed to see him, although Almir was unable to bring himself to understand why. Eventually, of course, he did, and they remained together, growing ever more accustomed to their new lives in the downside. Not a day went by that Almir Oldheart did not think about his father and give thanks to him, and speak to him at morning and at night. Whatever the stars yet shone, for surely Dalbart would be there among them, smiling down at his son and watching over him and his kin. Oh my god, I could cry. Don't make me cry. After the final liberation rite, Lyndal refused to believe that the rites had truly ended. He would sit through night after consecutive nights, staring into the blackness of the sky, awaiting any kind of sign that he might get another chance at freedom. No such sign ever came. His fellow accusers started to express concern for him. Survival had become their top priority once liberty had slipped from their grasp. But Lyndal dismissed them as weak fools. He insisted rather forcefully that any evening now the stars would shine for him again and mark the way to his inevitable freedom. He was, of course, mistaken. The others in his triumvirate were left with little choice but to abandon him. After that, the exile known as Lyndal the Liar was never seen again. However, there's soon been sightings of a deranged demon who wandered the downside and bears Lyndal's cruel condescendence, suggesting he yet lives. All his life, Sir Deluge had fled from one danger only to find himself facing another. He had escaped the war-torn waters of the sea domain. He had escaped the blood border in the Commonwealth, and now he escaped the rites. After the rites had ended, many exiles wrapped up in the ancient test were crestfallen, as their last chance to return to their home was vanished, along with the stars above. But Deluge did not mind, for this outcome meant that, at last, there was no burden of responsibility weighing down on him. While most of his fellow exiles of the Pyre Hearts, goodness me, while most of his fellow exiles of the Pyre Hearts yet longed for the waters of the sea domain, driven as ever by their impulsives towards conflict, Deluge settled down. With him remained one of his companions, one Lady Seagrass, whom he had taken a liking for some reason. Reportedly, they disappeared in the waters of the Worm Gulf, which began to explain the significant increase in the worm population observed in the vicinity. Disgusting. After the cycle of the rites had ceased, Witch Uldameth returned to the Flagging Hands region where she sealed herself within the pit of Myleth. There, after her fellow exiles of the Withdrawn allegedly grew unnerved after a time, they left her and her vile work. Soon later, the pit of Myleth erupted into flame. So intense was the conflagration that could be seen all the way from Jomir Valley. Arson was suspected, though the cause was never verified, and many bog dwellers in the region were forced to flee. A tempest blowing from the north finally quenched the flames. When at last the ashes settled, the grounds had cooled, the site of fire was scarred beyond recognition. No trace of the Witch of Uldameth could be found. As for the contents of the pit of Myleth, which notably included a profane object thought to be the remains of Yislech, all of it was gone as well. Back in the Syrian Union, Uldameth's repeated threats at the return of Yislech were thoroughly investigated. No credence was found to any of her claims. Barker Ashpaw never had much interest in returning to the Commonwealth, for he always found his bylaws to be stifling, so when the rites ended, he did not care at first. He soon grew very bored. The rites had given his life a certain sense of structure it always needed. He missed the raw anticipation of it all. He decided to continue conducting the rites for the thrill of it. He bent some of the rules and replaced some of the object, but it was close enough. His packmates, the Descendants, proved more than happy to participate, and thus they ran again against each other back at Jomir Valley. Gradually, other exiles familiar with the rites, as well as those who had not heard of it at all, started to take an interest. They ended up giving Barker Ashpaw some healthy competition. His old feud with Rookie Greentail ceased meaning anything to him, and he forgot all about it amid his new pursuits. Ultimately, even Barker Ashpaw, who led such directionless existence at this point, found something of a calling through the rites. Whether he took the rites less seriously than any of the other exiles at this point of more was oft debated by those who watched him work. Through her exile, Tamitha Thane was motivated by a single goal: to return to the Commonwealth and exact revenge on her ancient enemies. When she realized the rites had ended and that she would never see her mountain home again, she nonetheless remained determined to aid her people however possible. She had gathered certain information pertaining to the intention of the Nightwings, who had formed a pact to regroup on the other side after their liberation. Other such reports exposed certain weaknesses in the Commonwealth defense and revealed to the Highwing remnants the opportunity for a risky but potentially impactful strike. As Tamitha could not participate in the assault, she learned what happened well after the outcome. On that night, known as the Scribes' Return, the Commonwealth had fallen. The Nightwing remnants had thus prevailed at last, without even having to fight. Soon after the fall of the Commonwealth, Tamitha learned her blood sister, Tamitha, was an accessory to a successful outcome. Tamitha was very skeptical of this, but as similar reports kept mounting, she soon accepted the prevailing option, however begrudgingly. Once a messenger arrived bearing some sort of message, seemingly from Tamitha, however, Tamitha turned it away. She would not give in to such an impulse to forgive. Knowing that the conflict on the other side had ended, Tamitha retreated to the crags of the Black Basin and grew ever more distant. Those closest to her surmised that her inability to reconcile with her blood sister was at the heart of this, though for her part, Tamitha never once admitted to any such weakness. Take a breath. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. Once it became clear that Ignarius that the rites were drawing to a close, he knew it was time for him and the Templars to call it quits. At first, he and the Templars decided to celebrate, and that they did for many, many nights. The revelry did eventually subside. The exiles parted amicably and went their separate ways. He roamed the downside then, searching for some meaning in his life, sometimes taking odd jobs requiring his brute strength. One day, he ran into Jodariel, and without the pressure of the rites, they hit it off that time. She denied ever enjoying his company, yet they never left each other's side. Through his glory days as the most powerful conductor of the rites had long since passed, he always enjoyed the fearsome reputation he had cultivated at that time. Jodi stays with him? What on earth? When Manly Tinderstuff realized the rites had ended and that he no longer could return to the Commonwealth through that ancient means, he was outraged. He cursed the Scribes, spewing forth such a slew of blasphemy as to be ever becoming of one of such a high status and bearing. When at last he calmed himself, he focused all of his energies on attempting to find another means of homecoming. He maintained regular contact with his wealthy family on the other side via messenger and used their vast resources to explore other means of escape. He tried using an elaborate pulley system. He attempted to retrofit a flying black wagon with superior propulsion. He tried an imp raft, a hot air balloon, even prayer. Nothing worked. There was only one way to escape the downside, and now it was gone. Tinderstuff bankrupted his family in these vain attempts. At last, such was his shame that he retreated to the teeming woods of Black Basin to Cinderroot. There he yet wallows, complaining to his comrades of the Chastity who still put up with him, either about his own misfortune or the latest news from the other side. After the shimmering pools closed for what would be the last time, Orlesh looked around him in the flickering lights of the Nightwing's still-burning pyre. He then turned to the fall of Solium and looked up towards the black, starless sky. He cursed the 8 scribes, then one after the other. After that, he strode forward towards the waters coursing from the side of Mount Olidil, and without hesitation he cast himself down. Orlesh's body was never recovered. The drop from the Mount Olidil does not appear survivable, though Orlesh did survive it once. That time, however, he was filled with fury. Such was the betrayal that he had suffered from his fellow exile claimed his rightful freedom. This time, Orlesh was filled with nothingness, and chose to leave the downside in the one way he knew he still could. The other Nightwings, who were witness to this, never forgot what they saw. Alright, let's go with Falconron. With the rites drawn to a close, the slug market's revenues fell precipitously, and Falconron was forced to liquidate his assets and close up shop. Yet, as it is sometimes the case of those with an entrepreneurial leaning, this time of hardship led to an epiphany, or at least a sudden change of fortune. One day, Falconron had a run-in with a messenger bearing news from the other side. Ron gave it one of his remaining trinkets, which could not be sold. The following week, the messenger returned to him bearing a tidy sum of wealth in newly minted coinage from the Syrian Union. Falconron cut a long-term deal with the messenger then and there. Though his trade remained a gray area from the legal standpoint of the Syrian Union, the newfound fame of the downside caused Falconron's goods to explode with popularity. He later signed an elaborate agreement with Big Bertrude's and found a distribution partner on the other side through Rookie Greentail, whose business had expanded. Especially in the Saharan Union, Falconron's goods were still known for their superior quality, though he assumes no liability for any side effects. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, records of what happened to the Black Wagon of the Nightwings became inconclusive and contradictory. Many accounts suggest that the exile of the Nightwings, who remained in the downside, continued to make use of the Black Wagon as their place of shelter and their means of travel. However, there is no record of what happened to the wagon's contents, such as the Book of Rites or the Beyonder Crystal, said to be haunted by the apparition Sandra the Unseeing. One possibility is that when the lone minstrel took his leave, he took the Beyonder Crystal with him, for he was thus obliged. By this time of reasoning, however, the Black Wagon itself should have been taken also. Others remain skeptical that the Beyonder Crystal never existed, or rather, that the visitors it granted were anything other than the results of an active imagination or fever dream. The bog dwellers of the southern bogs offer still yet another explanation, for they are familiar with binding enchantments. If there existed such an object in which the Sisters of the Ark have been expelled for more than 800 years, then the enchantment could have expired along with the light of the stars. What would have been meant for the Sandra and the Beyonders is difficult to say for certain, other than it must have meant that they were finally released. Nevertheless, the fates of Sandra and the Beyonder crystals remain unknown. Yet those exiles of the Nightwings who claim to have seen these apparitions all spoke of her with degrees of reverence, or perhaps a little fear. Alright, who's next? Let's go in chronological order. So we're going to start with Rookie. After Rookie Greentail earned his freedom back, he returned with lavish welcome to his ceremony in the Commonwealth, as was a tendency for liberated exiles. It was everything he could have hoped for, and soon he was well off, surrounded by luxury and choosing between various exciting opportunities. However, he must have given into his better judgment, as he did end up siding with Wolfried Sandalwood's revolutionary forces as he promised. On the night of the Scribes' return, it was Greentail was there with the others, inspiring the masses. He never looked prouder, the very image of Jomir Mani Mane himself. When dawn finally came, it became clear that the Commonwealth that everybody knew would be no more. He realized many new opportunities awaited. He began quite a lucrative career for himself, manufacturing and selling replica merchandise inspired by the downside. His main struggle was to meet demand. An aspect of his conscience cautioned him against making light of such a thing, but the money was too good, and soon his family was well off, as he always said. One of his order of business was to seek out one of his old companions, Pyre, to whom he took a liking during his quest for freedom. They bonded over a love of drink and supported one another for uncertain times that lay in store. He soon kept in close touch with Gilman, ever the perfect practice partner. They would train together often, taking care to stay in tip-top shape as much as possible throughout the years. Greentail always did his best to keep in touch with all his many friends and knew that he owed his fortunes to them. He made a special point of staying close with the friends he came to know during his time with the Nightwings, wherever they were. They shared a special understanding that put even Greentail at a loss for words sometimes. Alright, Pyre. After regaining her freedom, Pyre Thane found herself in a difficult position. Having once betrayed her people of the Highwing Remnants, she knew she would never be welcome in her native home. She did not trust the Commonwealth either. Instead, she found her place among Wolfried Sandalwood's agents, who were busy doing their part to fulfill the plan. As it turned out, the plan was a success. Pyre Thane stood shoulder to shoulder with her fellow former exiles, and truly they were a sight to behold. A disturbing rumor later spread that night. The Highwing Remnants were slated to mount an assault, which, for some reason, never came to pass. Pyre denied any knowledge or involvement. Afterwards, Pyre played an active role in negotiating terms between the Highwing Remnants and the new nation that would become the Saren Union. Her previous attempt at something of a sort led to her exile. She must have felt some satisfaction to succeed this time around. Sometime later, Pyre had an unexpected run-in with Rookie Greentail, with whom she had spent a fair amount of time while traveling with the Nightwings. Under these new set of circumstances, it turned out the two had more to talk about, rather more in common. They often would put to the test which one of them would outdrink the other. It is unclear as to which of them prevailed in that contest in the end. One day, Pyre received an invitation to return to the Highwing Remnants, where she was to be fully pardoned. She held out hope that she might see her blood sister Pyre there, knowing full well that Pyre did not regain her freedom. Pyre did later learn that Pyre was welcomed back by her people. However, she never responded to her blood sister's attempt to contact her. Pyre, in turn, did not expect forgiveness from her at any point. Nonetheless, she kept on trying to reach out, she said, to ruffle up her feathers just a bit. Later, when asked, Pyre Thane admitted that she felt as though she had no home to call her own. This was during an interview conducted amid an extensive trip abroad, for she had traveled thousands of leagues beyond the bounds of the Saren Union. Pyre continued to journey thus, citing that it reminded her of when she was younger and could fly unfettered. My voice is going to give out. When the worm Gilman returned to the Commonwealth, he believed that he had regained something more important than his freedom, his honor. Gilman relinquished his knighthood and declared an opportunity to serve as captain on the Blood Border. He was not interested in fighting any longer. Yet, as it's sometimes the case with those such as he, a circumstance soon which came there that needed him once again to make use of his military training. Thankfully, however, the Scribes' return ended peacefully. Gilman was on edge throughout the night, expecting violence to erupt at any moment, but the moment never came. When the matter of the last put to rest, then Gilman truly knew his name as a knight had ended. He declared to all those in earshot that he would never fight again, unless, of course, there arose some other extraordinary set of circumstance, again requiring him to fight, but he certainly hoped not. He still trained regularly just in case, especially with his fleet-footed friend Rookie Greentail. He was always grateful for the counsel of the reader, and would regale her over and over about the time they squashed the spawn of the unfathomed plurns. By that point, he had long forgotten about his times under the leadership of Sir Deluge, his former commander. Breaking free of his adversary's leadership was his first step towards gaining a bit of self-respect. Gilman never did return to his homeland or the Sea Domain, and was content to live a monastic life on a small residence in the hills. It was high up enough to keep him striving to conquer his fear of heights. Other than that, an intense daily training regimen and the occasional visit from an old companion was more than enough to keep him optimistic and engaged. He knew by then that the honor was something to be worn, but a contract with oneself to be renewed each day. Oh my god, I'm going to die. After his liberation, Hedwyn was instrumental in the events leading to the fall of the Commonwealth and was vital to the outcome of the plan. The peaceful outcome of the Scribes' return was attributed to several key factors. One of them was the underlying ambition of the plan itself. Another was Hedwyn's visibility among the people in the streets. Identified to be as a liberated exiled, he was believed to be Gol Golian, reborn. More importantly, however, he was the one of the winged harps of the High Wing remnants accompanying him. She was later identified as Fenenki Shang. Their bond was symbolic of what was at stake that night, and proved vital to the peace that was followed. In the time of difficulty, he would often ask himself what his old friend Jodi would have done in his place. Though they were separated by great distance now, they thought of one another often, and remained in great friendship through a relatively frequent correspondence via messenger. Hedwyn would often think back about the vow he made at the beginning of his quest for freedom. Although he cherished all the friendships he made, he had pledged to Jodariel, Rookie Greentail, and the Reader of the Nightwings that they might all be free again together. He had broken that vow for now. In the end, not all of them would be able to return. A terrible guilt over this darkened his mood for a time. However, the others whom he still knew lifted his spirits, much like he had often lifted theirs. All of the Nightwings knew the stakes. While the others who stood with the Nightwings were not able to remain in contact with us, Hedwyn thought of each of them often, and so, in turn, did they oft think of him. Alright, Volfried. We're close to being done. When Volfried Sandalwood regained his freedom, he knew that his work had only just begun. The nation that had exiled him to life in the downside now prepared to honor him, but he was not interested in such ceremony, nor in freedom on the Commonwealth's own terms. He soon rejoined his agents, with whom he had been coordinating for years, slowly, carefully, preparing for a night that soon would come. For Sandalwood and his loyalists and sympathizers, true freedom was at stake, not just theirs, but that of everyone living under the Commonwealth. He hoped to gather liberated exiles presenting each of the 8 largest ethnic groups composing the population of the Commonwealth. They would stand together as a vision of the 8 Scribes returned, inspiring the masses to embrace an older set of values from before the Commonwealth had tightened its grasp. With the rites having ended sooner than expected, this optimal scenario seemed impossible, but Sandalwood did not relent, and prepared to execute his plan, imperfect though it was. On the night of the Scribes' return, he stood as one of the 6 former exiles of the Nightwings, and their voices echoed together through the streets. These former exiles, though ought to have disappeared into the ranks of the Commonwealth's own leadership, now stood united with its people, who poured from their homes in solidarity. It was imperative to Sandalwood that they stand up against the Commonwealth, be peaceful in its nature. An overwhelming show of popular support would be more than enough. Ensuring that this was his priority that night, and, in the end, the result of self-evident, the plan's goal had been achieved. Sandalwood's work was far from over still. He labored ceaselessly with representatives from across the population to restore a sense of stability. The transitional period had its troubles, though none that were not quickly solved, such as the will and the spirit of the people. They understood their freedom carried new responsibility. After the Seren Union was born the next year, Sandalwood was elected as the nation's first prime minister. It was not his intent to run for this office, but the people chose him anyway. He led our flagging nation through its nascent years. One of his allies in all of this was the imp Tizo, with whom he traveled all across the downside. Sandalwood often cited Tizo as a wellspring of his own enthusiasm for a brighter future, such as the creature's spirit. He invited the prospect of the Reader and the Nightwings at every opportunity, and counted her one of the chief advisors and most trusted friends. As Wulfried gained more fame throughout this land for all his sacrifices, his contributions, he remained ever steadfast about two things. The first was the cause itself ought to remain in focus. The freedom that the people had achieved, it was a gift to be cherished, a set of values that needed to be nurtured. The second point he made was that he himself had little to do with the outcome. He would often praise the exiles of the Nightwings who had stood with him, each in turn, by name. He never forgot any of them. One day on his birthday, the people of the Seren Union presented him with a monument depicting him and the Nightwings as imagined in their prime. It is since ensured that those of us who, with memories whose valuable than the... What on earth? It has since ensured that those of us with memories more valuable than that of Sandalwood likewise remember the achievements of the fellow former exiles and their cause. Oh my god, this is so much. The imp called Tizo was the first of his kind to achieve liberty through the rites. While he was not the only imp trained in the ways of the Scribes, imps are native to the downside and thus care not for traveling abroad. This made them useful for triumphants. Yet, Tizo had a different calling, and the Nightwings believed that he too could play a role in part of Wulfried Sandalwood's plan. During the night of the Scribes' return, he stood out to the populace as something of a miracle. They had only heard of the downside imps before, from legends of Hob the Shallow. However, he became something of an icon representing both the fall of the Commonwealth and the beginning of a new era. Sandalwood sometimes called for his assistance, and Tizo was always happy to oblige. The two would often reminisce about their times with the Lone Minstrel. He often chirped about the Reader of the Nightwings, with whom he built quite a rapport. The Reader understood him perhaps better than anyone else, and thus Tizo would often express wistful gratitude for all his time conducting the rites alongside the Nightwings, who made such sacrifices for him. Other than that, Tizo was diligent about his role as something of a living artifact, and helped interpret for the Mesdrums who relayed news to and from the downside. Despite having gained significant celebrity, he never let go this to his head, although he did take full advantage of his access to the Seren Union's fishing industry. Oh, Tizo. Alright, so Bertrude was meant to go free. Several exiles of the Nightwings cared more for the plan of Sandalwood's than the return home. From the downside, the crone named Big Bertha was a prime example. She had found a suitable environment to live in within the dismal region known as the Flagging Hands. There she had built a thriving place of business known to many exiles in the land. With the rites having ended, she returned to her preoccupations, working away almost as if nothing had happened. When one gets to be about 400 years of age, perhaps even the most monumental events, such as the culmination of the rites or the collapse of the Commonwealth, are seen as trifling matters. Much of her efforts are doubtless due to the influence of Sandalwood, someone whom she had admired for decades. Though they were far apart now, she sought out news as to their whereabouts and found his actions in the Seren Union a rare source of inspiration. By and large, Bertrude kept focusing on her work. Whether casting small enchantments or imbuing talismans, the work brought her a sense of purpose, she would say. In the Commonwealth, such services were strictly forbidden, but in the downside, there was a real need for simple luxuries, with the competing slug market could not always provide. Thus did Big Bertha continue to live up to her name, and the tales of her days with the Nightwings made her much more of a living legend. After the rites had ceased, Jodi journeyed back to the downside prairie, where she helped restore Hollowroot to livable conditions. She became well known and sometimes feared throughout the lands, and many exiles often sought her out for aid with various matters. She refused most such jobs except the one she believed to be just. Through all of this, she often thought of Hedwyn. Though they remained separate by an impossible expanse, they managed to maintain some correspondence via Messenger Imp, and always remained friends. She kept an eye on Fae, who nonetheless demonstrated a surprising knack to get by on her own, though Jodariel was always remaining to provide assistance just in case. Sometime later, she ran into Ignarius wandering alone. The two of them grew close and soon took residence together. Who among them was the fiercer was a common subject of debate. She continued training on her own. a regiment that grew stricter with each passing year. There were those who sought to train with her, and she sometimes obliged. There remained one other constant in her life. She would always remember her days among the Nightwings, and with fondness for the most part. Oh, she's a little salty. Long after the rites had ended, Fae admitted that she knew well before the fact that she would not be going home again. At least, she had a strong feeling. She ended up not minding very much, because she had little to return to in the Commonwealth. Her sense of home had changed. She took to wandering from the celestial landmark to the next, ever paying homage to the 8 scribes who she believed had influenced all that transpired. She was no stranger to traveling alone, but was always happy to have company. Through all of this, she would wonder how her little friend Tizo had fared. While they were divided now by a great distance, he had always remained in her heart. She cited her relationship with Jodariel as the single most important in her life. Jodariel would always provide her a circumspect perspective in the wisdom of experience. One day she encountered one of her former allies, one called Almir Oldheart, who had served the Fate. She remembered him much more than he did her, though only just at first. They shared experiences in the Rite, and their different points of view about the Scribes formed the basis for what grew to be a long-lasting relationship. Fae was always devoted to her faith, but more so to her friends. Her gentle manner and unwavering conviction often helped them brave life in the downside, both with courage and with grace. Dear Lord, there is one more account which warrants mention. The Nightwings conducted the rites under the guidance of a reader. Little is known of her. However, some accounts of her began to paint a picture. We know she was of common birth, always directionless and prone to misremembering at times. The journey of the downside left her close to death. It was then that the Nightwings found her. They brought forth her from the brink. She showed them the path. She pressed onward with the others. She did not know how far their path would lead. Thus did the cycle of the rites commence its final turns. Oh, that's me. When the final rites arrived, the reader's freedom was at stake. That freedom she did achieved ere the morning's lights. From that point on, accounts of her diverge. It is said that the voice which troubled her, she never heard again. Some say she chose to tend the Sarian Union's land, though whether that is true, only she knows. Someday, perhaps, that reader's own star shall emerge. Then it shall pierce the dark of night in all its brilliant glory. Until such time, and ever after, all of us give thanks.
Their journey began.
And with that, we have Pyre. What an absolute journey this has been. This has been a titan of a game for me to get through. This has made me rethink how I want to stream games in the future, but in a positive way. In a very positive way. Ideally, the credits should start rolling here in just a second, and I always like to give the credits an opportunity because the people who made the games are deserving so much. The creation of games is difficult, incredibly challenging, and people that make games I don't think receive enough thanks for doing so. So in my own little way, we're going to let the credits roll, and we're going to respect the people who made them. And I hope they know that they've really done something special for this world. This game is truly something beautiful. As much as I've complained about how long it's gone on, that is only because of the median of me streaming. Obviously, in its own right, the game is beautiful and should be played by everyone. Look at this art. Here we go. To To the best of my understanding, Supergiant's a pretty small crew too, so it shouldn't go on for too long. Gen Z. Oh my gosh, I love Gen Z. Starting off working for Gaia Online and then getting recruited somehow to Supergiant Games. Absolutely crazy. And then Darren Korb. I mean, what on earth? That is a very small crew who made this game. That is so hopeful as a game designer to see that so few people can make something so significantly beautiful and something so significantly rich with content. I mean, they wrote like so many countering pieces of content that if you only do one playthrough, you will literally never see. That's pretty wild. Look at Tizo. Maybe I'll make Tizo an emo. I love Tizo. We'll make that a stretch goal. Maybe Tizo will be an emote in the future. The diversity of art that's in this game too is pretty wild. Gen Z, if Gen Z did all of this art, and I believe they did based on that credit, man, you really did it. You are really such a divine artist. And if we lived in an age that had more more rarity in the development of art, you would be regarded as a great. And I think in your own way, you are still regarded as a great here in this world. Look at Bertrude. Bertrude looks awesome. Oh, and Jodi and Pamitha there in the back. Very sweet. Alright. I believe that is the credits. It's a lot of special things. I love that the crew that worked on this game is like 20 people, and then the special thanks are so much more. That's how credits should work. Not that big giant development teams shouldn't exist, but I think there's a certain capping point where it's sort of like, okay. For me, I think that number is 250. I think once you have over 250 people working on a project, the project should either be pumping out an abnormally high amount of content, and it should be like, you know, a pinnacle of a genre or whatever, or otherwise I think there's a big lack of communication between the amount of people on that team. Also, there I am. There's the reader. Nothing kills art more than a lack of communication, that's for sure. All right. What is this? A little library. Is this the voice? Where have we found ourselves? It's beautiful, whatever it is. love to live here, like an Art Nouveau, beautiful little library, stars in the ground, big stained glass window. I mean, this is it. This is what you work for. All right. Is this it? The end. Cool. Well, with that being said, I appreciate everybody who has endured this journey with me. It has certainly been a lot. True Nightwing's campaign mode. No way am I doing that. I am going to give this game a break. But yeah, I am done. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all in due time, where we'll be playing who knows what next. And I'm going to go ahead and eat and drink and take a rest and lay my voice to rest for a little bit. So, yeah, that's been my time. Thank you.